Under Aziel's rule, Israel thrived. Crops flourished, the treasury overflowed, and the people sang the king's praises. Aziel was celebrated as a leader who carried God's favor. Yet, even as his kingdom prospered, the king began to grow restless, yearning for something he couldn't quite name. One day, a prophet named Elias arrived unannounced at the palace gates. He delivered a cryptic message to the king. "Beware, O king, for what is hidden in darkness will be brought to light." Aziel brushed aside the prophet's words, but unease began to stir within him. Aziel, driven by ambition and desire, secretly wed Leora, a foreign princess, in defiance of God's law forbidding alliances with pagan nations. Their marriage remained hidden from the people as Leora continued to worship idols in secret. The king convinced himself that his actions were justified for the sake of political alliances. Tamar, a loyal servant in the palace, accidentally stumbled upon Leora performing a pagan ritual in a hidden chamber. Shocked and torn, Tamar struggled with whether to expose the queen's actions, fearing both the king's wrath and the potential unrest it could bring to the kingdom. Unbeknownst to Aziel, his secret marriage began to sow discord. Leora's influence over the king led him to compromise his faith, making decisions that weakened the nation's spiritual foundation. The people began to notice cracks in their once great king's leadership. Elias returned to the court, this time openly rebuking the king before the royal assembly. "You have allowed sin to fester in your heart, O king, and it will consume you if left unchecked." The court was stunned, but Aziel ordered the prophet removed, refusing to acknowledge his guilt. Unable to remain silent, Tamar courageously confessed what she had seen. The court was thrown into chaos as the scandal was exposed. Aziel's nobles and advisors confronted him, and for the first time, the king felt the weight of his actions. As news of the scandal spread, neighboring nations saw an opportunity to attack. The kingdom, once united under Aziel, was now divided. Leora fled the palace, abandoning the king as the enemies of Israel closed in. In the darkest hour of his reign, Aziel went before the people in sackcloth and ashes, confessing his sin and begging for forgiveness. He sought out Elias, who urged him to return to God with all his heart. Aziel tore down the pagan altars and led the people in a national day of repentance. Though the kingdom suffered, God heard Aziel's prayer. Israel's enemies were miraculously defeated in battle, and the people's faith in their king was restored. Aziel spent the rest of his days serving humbly, dedicating himself to God and the people he had wronged. Aziel's story is a powerful reminder that no one is above accountability, and no sin is beyond redemption. It teaches us the importance of integrity, humility, and the courage to make things right when we falter. In today's world where ambition and compromise often overshadow values, this tale challenges us to stay true to our principles and seek forgiveness when we fail.